Alright, so this week in Ireland has been an absolute scorcher. What's the crack? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Redmond, and I'd really appreciate if you can hit that subscribe button. Also, before we get into it, do me a big favour, drop a like on the video, and also leave a comment down below. Just tell me hey and I will say hey back. If you've done that and you're enjoying these videos and want to support me just a little bit extra, go to patreon.com/AdamRedmond and click the top link down in the description. So last week we started doing the prestigious award of Numpty of the Week, which we are definitely going to continue doing for the foreseeable future, and here is the winner. So last week, for some weird reason, 70% of you voted for that chap to win, which makes no sense whatsoever to me, considering the fella falling over the wall was by far the funniest clip. Now, the clips I was sent in this week, I'm a little bit skeptical about showing, but I'm going to show you anyways. Here's some chap basically nearly breaking his neck. Oh, he is so fucking close to dying in that video. Like, I'm not even messing. Everybody was laughing until he landed on his head and they realised just how bad it was.
Oh no, this is your legend.
Go on, you big legend. Take that bus straight off the map. Ooh, that one even hurt my tits. So similar to last week, there's a poll up in the corner. I'm not sure which side it's on. I think it could be this side. Pick whatever one your favourite is. It'll be in next week's. And if you have any clips you want to send me for next week's video, feel free to send me it to @AdamRedmond Insta, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Dying man who has to take over 20 tablets a day is first person convicted of drug driving in Ireland. So to summarise the whole thing, this happened back in 2017. It was on Good Friday. The chap's a 51-year-old and his name is Alan Crogan. I think it's Crogan. It's spelled C-R-O-G-H-A-N. He's the first ever person in Ireland to be convicted of drug driving, and he was given a 4-year driving ban and a €750 fine. But here's the weird thing: the drugs that was detected for was actually his prescription medication, because as I said, he is terminally ill. The ban isn't in place though, because Alan's back on the roads after an appeal, because he has the backing of so many doctors that are basically saying it was prescription stuff and it didn't affect his driving. He suspects Xanax and Solpadeine may have negatively affected his results on the test. What I will say though is that Xanax and Solpadeine can definitely affect your driving. Both of them can make you drowsy, but in saying that, the state doctor at the time of the arrest basically said he was grand. Now Alan, if you're watching this, I know that you're a local lad, so if you actually get banned from driving over this, feel free to drop me a text and I've absolutely no problem, free of charge. I will bring you to the hospital when you have an appointment. Completely unrelated to the story, Alan is a journalist. He's written film scripts, he's wrote 2 books and published 2 books, and he's also got a YouTube channel which you will find if you search his name, Alan Crogan. Swan beats dog to death as spaniel was swimming in duck pond at Dublin Park in front of horrified owner. So this Swan attack happened in Bushy Park in York. Quick warning for every single one of you that are watching: swans are very aggressive when it comes to their territory and it comes to protecting their babies. Basically what happened is some chap or some woman, I don't even know what the owner is, whether it's a man or a woman or any other gender. Anyways, the dog was out for a walk with its owner. It jumped in for a swim, which it probably does every single day of the week, but on this day it came a little too close to the swan's territory and the swan's babies, and of course the swan went into protective mode and attacked the unsuspecting dog. Quite sadly enough, a handful of slaps from the swan's wings was enough for the dog to be absolutely gonzo. One, this would have been avoided if the person had kept a dog in a lead the same way most people should do unless it's an enclosed dog park. Number 2, how do we all know that that dog didn't want to identify as a duck or a swan? Man 21 horrified after Gardaí told him torches he bought online were stun guns. Brian of Blackditch Road, Ballyfermot, Dublin pleaded guilty at Dublin Criminal Court to importing firearms without a licence on an unknown date in May 2018. Just being actual curious, do stun guns, not even like it doesn't shoot at and it's just a handheld thing that you just stick to someone and go gee, do they actually classify as firearms, or is this article just wrote wrongly? Judge Karen O'Connor said that Ryan had made a mistake in buying the devices and was otherwise a hard-working young man. Yeah, because hard-working young people can't also import illegal stuff. So the reason for him importing all the stun guns was to try and sell them on before he went on his holiday. Like, surely he knew it wasn't just a normal torch, because how much money are you making by importing torches and selling them? Who the hell goes around selling torches door to door in the first place? So the chap bought the stun guns off Wish, and then the court believed that it was actually an accident that he imported illegal stuff. For this he got no conviction, although they did put him on probation for good behaviour for the next year, so if he slips up within the year, he's probably snookered. Also, when the story came out, he got sacked from his job, to which then the sergeant that actually was dealing with the case went to his job, explained to the employer and got the chap back his job, which seems like a fairly nice thing to do that the sergeant didn't actually have to bother doing. Can you imagine the tension or the friction when that chap went back to his job? I'd imagine what he would have wanted to do to his boss. Sandycove Beach safe this swim as bathing ban lifted after wastewater overflow due to heavy rain. There you go, Sandycove is now swimmable again after the Ringsend plant had an overflow of shite. So there you go, get your togs on, head down to Sandycove. I think I might go there one of the days for a nice swim in the nice clean water in the lovely weather while we have it. Longitude 2019 organisers call on revellers to behave and reveal the offences that'll get them kicked out of festival. Festival goers are advised to take note of the weather and to dress appropriately, but umbrellas are banned. The reason for that is that if you're holding an umbrella over your head, the chances are you're not the same height as the person beside you, and they're going to get poked in the eye with them little pokey out bits at the end of the umbrella. They've called on those attending not to bring backpacks or large handbags and asked for people to queue in the area that they purchased their ticket in. Just in case you didn't know, they said any form of antisocial behaviour, crowd surfing, moshing or public urination will not be tolerated. Moshing? Who the hell wants to go to a festival for a mosh pit? They're just jumping around in this little tight space, elbowing each other on the back of the head and the face. You're getting punched, you're getting kicked, you're getting stood on your nice lovely white runners, and it just doesn't seem very enjoyable. Anybody caught doing any of those things will not get a refund and will be kicked out of the festival. Please move slowly and quietly when exiting the festival site and cooperate with stewards' directions. As if people are going to do a Usain Bolt and start sprinting towards the exits as soon as it's over. Anyways, by the time it's over, people are going to be in that much of a state that they probably can't even run in the first place. Do not rush the exits, hang back until the main throng has dispersed for an easier journey home. Now there's a big tip for you, don't all run towards the exit and get piled up and end up fucking hurting each other. Event organisers have told people the only forms of ID that they accept are passport, Garda age card or driving licence. Those under 18 are permitted to bring a school or college ID, but they must bring a colour copy of their passport too. If you're under the age of 18 you're going to Longitude, just leave your student ID at home. There's no point bringing two things that you could possibly lose. What is banned at Longitude? Actually not that much. Alcohol, glass, aerosol spray cans, which are the same thing. Illegal unidentifiable substances, basically drugs. Inflatable and fold up furnitures, umbrellas, flares and metal reusable bottles. So by the looks of it, Longitude aren't very environmental friendly, because you can't reuse bottles and you can't use glass bottles. So what they wanted to use was plastic cups and plastic bottles, but the reason for that being is because you can't trust drunk people not to smack each other over the head with a glass bottle. Personally, I'm not going to Longitude and I've actually never been to Longitude. I've actually never even been to a festival before in my life. But if you're going, my advice to you, and whether you take this or not from someone that's never actually taken any drugs, bring your drugs in, but you stick them up your hole, make sure you don't get caught, because you don't know what you're going to end up buying off people in there. And last of all, enjoy the fucking weekend, stay safe, and fingers crossed nobody gets seriously injured or actually dies. Look after your mates, don't wander around your own, and don't get too fucking drunk. Have a little bit but not too much, drink responsibly. Dublin's Grand Canal left in disgusting state after large amounts of rubbish were left behind on hottest day of the year. So there you go, you can see the picture there. This happens without fail every single year. This is disgusting. Cans by the canal has left the Grand Canal looking like a dump this morning. As you can see from one of the pictures, all the rubbish is actually tidied up and left at an overflowed bin. So there you go. Dublin City Council, you could do with providing more bins along the canal. Also provide some sort of public toilets that everybody can use so they're not pissing all over the place. And if anyone that's watching this is actually drinking at the canals and leaving their rubbish, just do us a big favour, throw it in a bag and bring it home with you and stop being a lazy little bollocks. Man left with serious burns after using rod to recover drone tangled in electric wires in Dublin. Now that is an absolute numpty if I've ever seen one. You can see from the picture there, but you can't really make it out, but that is a drone tangled up in the wires that this absolute idiot tried to poke down with a rod. If anything like this happens to anybody, just ring the ESB. Don't go near wires unless you maybe use a football and kick it, and if your accuracy is good enough you'll get your drone back in 2 pieces. As a result of this absolute idiot, at least 1,000 people in the local area were left without electricity. Anyways, the chap survived to tell the tale with a couple of bad burns, but as I said, what an absolute numpty. Irish dog owners warned not to leave pet pooch in car during hot weather as they can die within minutes. Dogs left in cars while people go into the shops. I'm only including this for all of you as a warning. If it's a scorcher of a day out and you leave your dog in the car and run into the shop just for 2 minutes just to get bread and milk, and I happen to walk past while your dog is left scorching in this car, just gonna be honest and say I'm gonna save that dog's life and happily smash your windows and let the dog out. So as I said, this is just a warning, so if anyone's watching this and thinking of doing it, just remember I'm gonna come along and smash the windows in your car and save your dog's life. Think I won't do it, just follow me at Redmond Insta, and I will post it on my story or on my actual main page when I get around to doing it if it actually happens. But that's gonna be from today. Thanks very much for watching. As I said, stay safe at Longitude. Actually, I'm even saying that, stay safe for everyone watching this, whether you're at Longitude or not. Do me a massive favour, drop a like in the video because it lets me know whether you're actually enjoying them or not. Feel free to leave a comment down below, because as all of you already know, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with anyone that wants one. Also, I said in last week's video that I was going to do a Q&A. I'm going to post it this week weekend. I haven't filmed it yet because I wanted to let the comments build up and I was afraid in case I missed any. And if you've enjoyed this video, also do me a massive favour. If you're absolutely sound and you can afford to do it, go and check out the patreon.com/Adam Redmond and click the top link in the description. That's gonna be from today. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.